26, going 8.
Going 18.
Actually, on the mat.
On the mat.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
Suit it
that's a
up.
different
Belt,
section.
belt fucking tied.
627. So
Oh, I'll take the under. I'll take the under.
622.
Wow.
Great.
No, sadly. Good morning, or as they say in Portuguese, bom dia. We should probably start brushing up on a little bit of that, because I believe Master Silvio is still slotted to come in February, per usual. So, I mean, it's December basically. I don't know a number of days it will be. So that gives us basically 2 more months to prepare for that. Probably some belts are gonna be on the way as well, so that's another thing. We always seem to change how we do promotions. Sometimes we test, sometimes we don't test. So you never know what's coming your way if you are on that edge of color promotion. So we'll get on with it. You guys had a good weekend in Thanksgiving. I did, and but I'm ready to back here and train. So let's rock and roll. I'll take Ken out here in the middle. Let's get our hips and shoulders and everything warmed up, and same with, like I said, with Master Silvio coming. Let's really start dialing in this progressive guard system. It seems like this is really what gets him excited, is when he sees his guys and gals really be able to look good and flow through the progressive guard system. I mean, it's all important to him, but I would say the progressive system is like his main staple of jiu-jitsu, especially on the self-defense side of things. So we'll start dialing it in there, as always, the first week of class. So I'd like to get my partner up and moving, so I'm gonna go each direction of the clock for them. Ken's doing a great job at just moving his hips and swiveling. If you must, you can put your hands down, you can put your foot down to just get that quick little shift in direction, but they shouldn't stay down very long, because that puts you in a vulnerable position. I'm gonna check him, he's gonna come in and check my knee position. Essentially, we're just doing a little tap. If this was a real life scenario and I was to come in, he should be able to basically take that knee out, and my forward momentum would just drop my face right into his lap. I'll come in the other direction, check it, good, check. I'll check twice on each, and on the fourth I'll come up and I'll go into the progressive guard system, really driving all the weight that you guys have into your partner to check their base. Ken's doing an excellent job with the hip off the mat. It's a core exercise where it will feel like one. We don't want our hips on the mat. Go and drop your hip on the mat like you shouldn't. That's no bueno. I can walk right over Ken from here, either punching, or if it's sports jiu-jitsu, I got my leg drags from here. So hips are off the mat. You're turning yourself into a plank, but you don't want to lock these knees out. That's also another no-no. So if he locked them out, now it's just a matter of me de-weighting, and same thing, landing punches or getting my 4 points from mount. So we have a good strong bend here. Strong enough that I can't collapse that bend, and strong enough that I can't collapse it either direction, and I can drive my weight into it, okay? From here, I can check, same thing, directionally, I can check Ken's base, and then I'll go into the first phase of reaching over, gripping the Achilles/ankle, and carrying that weight. So if Ken de-weights his left leg, I'm carrying this weight for him. What I don't want to see you guys do, I see a lot of white belts do this, come back. They grab and they instantly let go. He's supposed to put his weight on me. He goes to make it and they let go, and you have that issue there. For the drill's sake, for it to be dialed in perfectly, I want to carry his weight until he finds my hip, and then I can alleviate, let go, and he'll switch his hips back. That's how he's going to be able to get the right look for this. So once again, we're over. Good. You can make a quick switch. If I was trying to do a leg drag and come in, and he rebases, or you can check him. I come all the way around. When I'm ready to come in, he'll switch his hips. Okay, so play with that. Play with your partner. 2 each side, and then we'll go 2 each side on phase 2 where I throw. And again, same thing. We want to make this as realistic as possible. So when I throw Ken, if I'm going to punt his head into oblivion, I have to base the first lever of that kick, which is going to be the inside leg here, so I can start launching. Okay, good. He finds it. Good. So same thing to make this as realistic as possible. When I throw him, I don't want to step in here first. Now there's no kick. I'm not trying to kick his leg. I want to get to the vulnerable lights out. So I come in to launch.
whether you throw the kick or not, I still want you to step in with the inside leg. Again, whether you throw this kick or not, you're still going to step in with this leg, and he's still going to make that switch. Good. 2 to the other side. Good. On this kick, another small detail with Master Silvio, what he's not going to want to see you do is try and catch this kick. Your hands, your wrist, your the extended frame is not going to be strong enough to absorb a real kick. So if you try to catch it with your fingers, you're not really even slowing things down. You're just breaking your fingers, and he's going to get to that shin's going to get to your face anyway. So what I recommend is you shell up just like you do with your punches, and you're trying to deflect that shin off your forearm. Your forearm could break, or it's going to be terribly bruised in the morning, but your face won't take any damage, and you'll still have the lights turned on to defend. Okay, your forearms will heal, but the lights won't go out. So shell up, palms in, and deflect that kick off. If you find yourself shelling it up, palms out, that's okay too. Just don't extend to catch anything. Don't try to C-grip a kick. So if I go to throw and do it wrong, Ken, and you extend, yeah, that is the worst thing you can do. That kick's gonna go straight through and break your nose anyways, and probably a few fingers with it. So if we come back and we go with the proper technique, and I throw, and it's coming, at least it's gonna deflect off the forearm. Like I said, you may break it or terribly bruise it, but you're gonna live to continue fighting. Take it, shrimp out, find the hit, okay? So phase 1, 2 each side, phase 2, 2 each side with proper technique. Really focus on those small details. They're everything, especially when Master Silvio is supervising over this. Lewis, partner up, on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Steve, question for you. If they do drop that foot, you just go back to that shrimp and try and
If I don't kick?
No, so man. First thing is drop that leg. Are you just recover that? Normally, shrimp away, try to go back to kind of start.
Yeah, but hopefully they don't do that.
Break them down.
But yeah, for sure, always break it enough, then break it to get to find a hit. Switch your hips, switch your hips. Drive into your partner, guys. Drive into your partner. So real quick, I'm going to take over the center circle. That coach. Small little detail that I'm seeing, and again, these are just. Oh, I'll have you do that. These are just small things I've picked up over the many seminars with Master Silvio now. He'll point these little things out. And so what I'm seeing a lot of you guys do on the phase 2 that I know he's absolutely going to correct, and I would too. When you go phase 2 and you throw, do everything right here. You're checking, good, I love it. And then you're going like this with both legs. I'm gonna do it. Zach, just catch and throw. We're back in Foxville. So what's gonna happen, even in just standard sport jiu-jitsu, I never want to give him both of them to just throw. It may seem faster, and maybe it is a split second faster, but it's definitely technically disadvantage. You have a disadvantage there. So that's why when we get here, we take that kick, we create our distance. I want to find one frame and then get the second one in. Even if it's sport jiu-jitsu, and he gets to a point where he's gonna pass, we're like shin to shin, and he's coming, I'm gonna set one frame. And then I can start working sweeps, or just get the second one in for foot on hip. But if I try to come up with both, there's nothing stopping them from continuing that momentum. So again, when we're here and we catch, make your distance and get your one frame in first. The weight's gonna come in. I can hold this and still recover. I don't need to be the fastest. I need to be the smartest in this position. Does that make sense? So continue partnering up, continue the same drill, but focus on just one leg, one frame at a time. You throw both of them in, they can just move both of them at the same time. Okay? On three. 1, 2, 3.
He's trying to stick a string.
Good Thanksgiving, Merlin?
No. Sorry, I
Not
made a
at
stick
all.
of teaching.
Yes. Now we're talking.
Stuff break down or people get hurt or what?
One leg,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
one leg, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, better. So do that one more time and pause. So whatever side. Okay, so right here. Pause right there, Merlin. Yeah. Shoulders and everything coming off the mat. So your hip, yeah, now find the hip and make your switch. Yeah. So really turn in. If you're just trying to turn your hip and Merlin really wanted to continue, you're never gonna be able to. So you
I was
have
doing my
to.
hip, but I wasn't getting my shoulder.
You were getting the hip, exactly. The shoulder gives you that extra trap.
Alright, thank you.
Yep.
So I'm still having trouble with that where I go to strip one, it's like part where I end up triple.
So it's possibly a double strip. So if you do three, then you come in and throw, and I'm here, okay? Instead of doing a conventional shrimp like this, I'll get my head out of the way and then shrimp. Okay.
Go
So
for that far hip.
all shrimps aren't created
Go
equal.
for the near
They don't all, you don't all have to look like this. You know,
Yeah.
you just take a little.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we use the word shrimp, all encompassing, but they're not all created, right? I like it. Pause where you're at. You guys, and you guys remember phase 3? Who needs to see phase 3? All the way to the head. I throw Jeff. We've done 1, we've done 2. Now we're gonna shorten it down to 1 each side, so we can get to phase 3 faster. And I come all the way around. Jeff shrimps out and goes for the scissor. Find the hip. Good. Another thing too on this, when we go 3, if Jeff comes up, scissors, and tries to spin out too soon, I can just block, push down, and continue striking. Find the rib cage, hug it. When I put pressure, that's gonna help you spin, and then disconnect from there. So when you come around, your partner goes to go with the scissor escape, bring your pressure onto them. Make them force the legs to drive you up. If you don't give them any pressure, you can just olay all day, okay? So pressure into them. You're only gonna be able to spin one way. You'll find yourself, depending on how you cross, you may not, but you'll be able to open this way. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, get to phase 3, and just go with the kick away. Okay, on 3, 1, 2, 3. Each side, go for the throw, launch, nice. Throw, one leg, good Merlin, go to 3, all the way around, all the way, there you go. Drive into him, Jeremiah, yeah, there you go, drive in, good.
Torso mobility.
So better?
Yeah.
you're gonna go put all the way?
Yeah. Nice. Shit. Finish your sequence, guys, and then we'll move on. There you go. I like it. Very good. Last thing I want to touch on for this, just for the small details again, I know we're 2 months ahead of Master Silvio's visit, but if we start getting it repetitive into our mind, in our thinking process, it'll just be that much easier. We won't have to do this the weekend before, so I'll be repeating myself a lot. When we stand up from any part of this sequence, or any time Master Silvio has one partner up, one partner standing, and then you go for a switch, Josh comes in here. If it's, drill ends and it's my time to stand up, it's either, depending on the drill, a technical stand up or a sweep of your liking. Typically there's no sweeps because we'll have 30 plus people on the mat, and sweeping is just dangerous. There's heads everywhere. So make it a habit, and I do this at home when I'm getting off the ground playing with the baby or stretching or whatever it is, technical stand up. No hair. He does it if he sees some of us, coming up or just standing up, doing this number, and then we all get a speech, and then he sees it again, and we're all counting to 10 and doing push-ups over and over and over and over again. So it's not that I'm trying to avoid the punishment. I just want Master Silvio to see that we're all doing it the right way here. I want him to be proud of us for our technical prowess. I'll do push-ups all day, I don't care. But when he sees that, it shines a good light on us, which again comes secondary to shining a good light on you guys. So technical stand-ups all day long, not just in here, but out in the field as well. Okay? Go ahead and grab some water, guys, and mouthpieces.
No. I'm working on it, but last time I checked was at 220. But I stopped powerlifting, so trying to slim up.
Josh is trying to slim up. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I stopped powerlifting, so
Yeah, that's right.
the entire pie that I ate on Thursday did not help.
No, that was carb loading.
It was a slimming pie?
Very much slim side.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
All right, so let's get into some positional sparring. We should all be pretty nice and warm after these little progressive drills, and it looks like we continue to have an even number of players, which is awesome. Partner up. We're going to get into some short rounds of positional sparring. We're going to start in half guard. Stand by for the timer.
I wasn't here. I've been out 2 weeks.
So 2-minute round. You're going to go with the same partner. You're just going to switch positions. Partner on top, pass, control. You may go for submissions. Partner on bottom, sweep, control. If you find yourself with finding a submission from the bottom, I won't get mad at you guys. But prioritize sweeps, especially what we've done over the last week. So, and then we reset. Same person stays on bottom until the bell rings, and then we'll switch roles. On the bell. Feel the 90s.
3, 2, 1, go.
Take left over. Take left over.
Three, two, one, go.
Will you take that on, please? Three, two, one, let's.
Good partner.
Say my name, no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you, you ain't running game. Say my name, you acting kinda shady.
Three,
Middle
two,
school dance, Batman.
one, go.
If no one is around you, say, baby, I love you, you ain't running game. Say my name, you acting kinda shady. Ain't calling me baby, better say my name. I was called, you would say, baby, I should say, and it's the same. Every other word is a you're okay. Could it be the truth, or really pretty with another lady? If you took it there, it's a call, you would say, I'm not the one to sit around and play. So give yourself a kiss, get your brain, just say the things that you said to me yesterday. I know you say that two things, so young as a way I say, show me
Three, two, one, let's. Three, two, one, go.
Slow down. Okay, let's go. Okay, switch it. Yeah, anyway. No, chop it off.
I'll take the ball.
Three, two, one, rest. Three, two, one, go. Three, two, one, done.
I'm trying to keep your posture down and then kind of lead it. Okay. So I'm walking that knee, come out.
Yeah. Because on the other one, you just come straight down.
I got back.
Yeah, that one was, I think, it was pressure with the step. Yeah, that was nice.
First thing's gonna be in Idaho.
Were you here Friday? Alright, so let's get into the drilling, technique drilling. I'll have Zach go through my wiki today. So if you were here Friday, I showed two of my favorite sweeps. They're essentially the same thing. If you look them up and you type John Wayne sweep, there will be a variation of the same sweep. A little bit different on the grips. Some guys will explain it with this grip, and some guys will explain it with this grip. Some guys will explain it with what's called the crowbar, which we'll get into today. And then some guys won't use the crowbar, they'll just use their hips more. And so I'm gonna demonstrate both for you guys, or well, do one at a time, demonstrate, drill it, and then we'll go into the crowbar thereafter. Okay, so we're in half guard, right? And partner on top, or the person trying to pass half, wants two things. They want control of your shoulders, both shoulders on the mat, and ideally they want control of your head. Whether your shoulders are on the mat or not, if they have control of your head, they're at the advantage. Again, even if both shoulders aren't pinned, but they have the head, they're at the advantage, and they will eventually get both shoulders pinned if they get to your head. They'll cross face you. One other thing they need on the cross face is they need that far side underhook. So when we're here, this underhook is important for them to pass. If they're going for the underhook, more than likely, they're trying to get to your head and get your shoulders pinned on the back. Okay? More likely. They don't always go deep right off the bat though. There's a game going on. So what I want to do is control the most important threat is the hand or the arm going to the head. So whether they come in with an aggressive club or they just try to be a little bit sneakier, slither their way in like a snake in the grass, either way I need to control this hand and get a grip of it, okay? This is gonna slow things down. But ultimately, I wanna take this post because I'm sweeping them to my left towards my back, behind me. So just be aware of what's coming here, okay? Now, what I wanna do here is I wanna get this first, and now we're gonna get into the sweep here. So I'm in half guard and I have a knee shield. My knee shield at this point is at the hip. But again, emphasis on the hip crease. I'm not across the other hip, that's too deep. I'm gonna get stacked, knees are gonna get pushed together. I'm here where I'm strong and I'm pinching so that it's not too easy for him to just come in and elbow that out of the way.
What's the angle you're keeping on your knee? Is it up? Is it like across his body? Is it across his hip?
We'll go angled up. What I'm pointing, let's
So you got a nice wedge.
yeah, I got a nice wedge, but there's a pinch going on, right? But I don't want to pinch down here, right? Because then I'm not on the hip crease anymore. Because I'm maintaining that distance. Come in. So there's other time or opportunities for the knee shield to come across. This is not one of those examples. Right here, the knee shield's low. This knee shield's gonna have to move out of the way to accomplish this sweep. Some people were struggling with that on Friday. That was partially my fault for not emphasizing on this knee shield having to move, okay? So, but for starters, the knee shield's creating the distance or the separation I need. When they put their hand here on this hip to find the underhook, that gives me every opportunity to now get a good grip on it. It's you typically, I don't have to go looking for it because it's always gonna be sitting somewhere in this underhook preparation zone for him. He's staging it for the underhook. First he has to get the cross face and then he's gonna find that underhook. So they're staging it for you. So I'm gonna control here. As I drive, essentially what I'm trying to do, partner on top is gonna give you pressure like they're trying to come in for that cross face. When you feel that pressure come in, I'm gonna punch this through. My right hip is on the ground. When I go to hit this sweep, my right hip is gonna be hitting the opposite knee. So as he drives in, right here, we're at this point, I feel nothing but pressure coming onto me. This cross face is inevitable. I'm gonna time it, and I'm gonna switch my hips. So come in, okay? So two things are happening right there. Or actually, more than 2 things. One, the knee shield's coming out of the way. This won't work if you try to keep this knee shield pinched, okay? But what's really happening outside of that knee shield is I'm taking one of the table legs out from underneath him. So if you notice, when I'm here, drive in, when I remove this knee shield, okay? Now, if I don't switch hips, I'm giving him a free smash pass. So timing, again, is everything. He's staging the underhook. He's getting ready to crossface. I'm punching. He drives. Switch my hips. And just think of it as just a gator roll, essentially. But my hips have to come across all the way from being flat on the mat here.
You scoop your hips way under.
Yes, and then I didn't stop. So when the knee shield eliminates the table from the leg and it brings that extra pressure onto me, simultaneously, I'm taking the next set of legs out and I'm continuous roll. I'm not going, It's all the way through until, that's why this hand stays free, so I can then go into my control position from there, okay? So one more time. Knee shield on the hip crease. He stages for an underhook. I get my grip and I'm ready to punch this through. He's coming in for the crossface. And now we're in half. Okay? Make sense? Partner up. Let's drill the good side. Let's emphasize on that good side since this one's relatively new to you guys. If you were here on Friday and you feel comfortable going both ways, feel free. And then we'll move on from there. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Why don't you show me?
Before I forget. Oh, I was working with you.
Yeah, we got a trio. Brand Simmons trio.
This is, you're particularly good. I would never get to your head for that outside. It's in your shield. Yeah.
In my opinion, it's the knee shield. Very nice.
Okay, so.
As soon as this comes across.
Right here. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna try to get this down. If that doesn't work, then I'm gonna try to come
All right.
See, is it the same time arm and leg?
It's pretty simultaneous, which is where a lot of people is tiny, right? So this is kind of one of those real, and then switching it. You don't like using your knee as one thing. You'll do that on the next drum, but on this one, I really want to see this, just shoveling that hip across. Your knee will go with it. So on this last one, you really rely on like the knee butterfly, we call it, effect. It'll work.
You're here, that arm comes through and it's just.
Yeah, exactly. So if I'm here, knee shield. Yeah. So I'm staging for the input. Yeah. It looked fluid. It was just don't rely on this butterfly.
If I do side to side, I'm setting up to the sweep.
Using gravity instead of mechanics, yes.
Everything. I hate to say like only one, right? You know, magic is better. That's what it is. Drive into him, go for the crossface. Switch your hips, big chest. Very nice. What?
I'm having a hard time putting down that straight pressure. I'm getting sweeps over and over.
You initiate that roll, you're giving this on a little touch.
We do two, or you do together.
Literally just
Well, let's see. I tell you.
Yeah, like on the knee.
So if we're here and you're going for the cross face, from here, right on this knee. He shifts into the cross face. I need to get this hip all the way across. Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's start from a lot. I mean, you couldn't, yes. So again, we're gonna see both.
I never got the left leg.
And the crowbar went a lot better. So here is now in a crowbar. Now I don't need to.
So use your momentum.
Switch the hips. I'm using this here, and
That's like, you know.
so now you can't frame. So sure, if they're framing out, you can just switch to
What's the world looks like?
So it's kind of that like constant barrage of attacks. If the first thing doesn't penetrate the defense, they throw the next thing.
Yeah, I got a crazy.
There's more about
But here, I feel like it's
and they do post out. You know, one of the techniques that we go over are every time, all the time. His counter is a good counter, but then there's balance to that So go for the club, the conference here. Yeah. So we'll get into questions and corrections.
I feel like I might get it wrong.
Okay, like that over-exaggerated makes sense too. And then like it's not good to exaggerate. It's just kind of like I'm gonna roll him over and pop that hip over his
You got a figure 4 on.
All right, finish your rep. So this initial sweep on this with this half guard, essentially what you're doing when you take the leg out with the knee shield, punch through, and switch your hips, you're bringing their center of gravity onto you. So we're here, we pop through. When I get to this point here, his center of gravity is onto me. Switching my hips is the only thing that needs to change the direction. And then we have the sweep, right? So, like I say, with most sweeps, you own their center of gravity, you own them. Now, a couple good questions coming over here from Resident Purple Belt. That comes 3 times a year. What if they base out, right? They're not necessarily going to put a frame out, but they just base out. They widen their base with their knee. It kind of gives them that frame where it does. So in jiu-jitsu, with damn near everything, it's not always an absolute. This doesn't work 100% of the time. Every time, they're going to throw a counter in your direction, and then your job is to throw a counter to that counter, and that's the game, right? So now we have that point where he's based out, you come back, or you just go for the crowbar initially. That's what I tend to do at times, is without trying attempt 1, attempt 2, I just go to set up the crowbar. And just like what a crowbar does, it wedges into something to pry it open. I'm not trying to open, but I'm using it as a wedge. So the leg, in between the legs, now basically wraps over his calf. That's the crowbar. This guy right here inside of his guard is the crowbar. So what this crowbar is doing, it's assisting with this leg to wedge the knee from being able to base out. Okay, so we'll get to that. That was just a little, I jumped a few steps ahead. But the crowbar is going to be your best friend on this sweep here. So we have the same position, knee shield. I'm now setting up the crowbar, and he gets the underhook here. So when they do get this deep underhook, what I want to do is basically trap this arm from being able to post out, because we're still going the same direction as we were on the first sweep. So I'm just coming down, and I'm coming through, and I'm trapping the elbow. I want to make sure that my elbow is behind. If there's a line down the middle of my, or down the side of my back, that my elbow is behind that line, closer to my spine. It's not in front, where he can make this underhook deeper, or it now doesn't trap that elbow enough, and he can also push his arm through, and he's free to pass with the crossface. So I'm keeping this elbow strong and behind me. Okay, and so what we do from here, it's not this, it's similar hip switch, but I'm not trying to clear all the way across to the other hip. So you can either frame on the foot, you can senkaku, or like a shallow triangle. I like to wedge the knee here. So I got my crowbar, and then I put the next foot right at the knee. I'm gonna drive my pressure down into those feet. So I'm putting pressure into my feet so my hips come off the mat. And as they come off the mat, now I go for my hip switch, and I just topple them over that. Okay? So without Zach on top of me, if I go for the crowbar without putting pressure down, and I just rely on, my hips are not going to be strong enough to get his pressure to come off the mat. So I'm driving down, my hips are coming up, and I'm switching.
Are you inviting the crossface in?
Yeah,
What are you
so
doing this?
yes and no. I mean, this will work whether they crossface or not. So whether they're coming in and crossfacing, I just gotta take this post away.
Got it.
So if they do get too deep on this crossface, I feel like once I get this knee shield out, I can't really crowbar that well anymore. So I don't want them to get too close. Adam Warzinski does like a double sleeve one as well, where he comes in here and he's now pressuring into them and then sweeping through. It's essentially the same sweep, he's just got different grips. He's the butterfly guard king in the gi. So now I'll just show option 2 as well on this one, and you guys can play with both of them. So we have this point here where he has he's going for that underhook, and I'm trapping it. Okay. If they're smart, they'll see this. And they'll go, I don't want this here, so they'll pull it out. When they pull it out, I keep my elbow behind the elbow, and I just trap. You gotta come over to this side to see it, fellas.
I do too.
And Jeff. No, this is different. This is different. You did far side. Yeah. You didn't work far side.
I was doing this earlier.
It also didn't work. So we're here. He goes for the underhook, but he's a smart practitioner. He goes to pull it out. I'm just gonna keep my hand behind the elbow, and then I can chew on one guide. And now I don't need to keep this one here. I can just keep one here, and I'm pinning it against my body. This helps too. You could do double. You don't need to go all the way to Kimura. But I just want this arm here, and then I'm going for the same hip switch. And then we come over to top pull. Ideally, I can pull the arm out, and I'm in side control, or my leg, I'm going straight into side control. Not into half guard. Questions? Does this make sense? Okay, so same knee shield, crowbar. I'm hooking. Like a crowbar, I'm hooking onto that shin bone behind the calf. And he's coming in. So like I said, you can go for both. You can do one rep with the elbow pin. I like it when the arm comes up front. I like this here. Whatever I can do to get this arm on this side of my body is even better. And from here, we got all kinds of back attacks as well. So it doesn't always have to go into a sweep. But in this case, we'll go into a sweep. And I'm just pinning this against my body so I can't pull it out the post. I'm alleviating the knee shield. Putting the wedge on the knee, driving down, switching my hips.
Is there any danger with steering them with the collar grip on the way over?
So, if you have a collar, so you have this arm for sure.
Yeah.
You have this?
Kind of steer a little bit.
No, I don't think so. I mean, his posture's broken with this arm. So if I go to, and he postures up, I still have this arm and I can still complete the sweep. I don't see anything wrong with the grip. You know, if anything, it's more just directing, steering the shoulders. So, and partner up, work both with arm out, arm in. Get used to that reverse Kimura style grip. Okay, on 3, 1, 2, 3.
What it took forever is hit them with the crowbar, and then it's real easy to get out half the guard. I do it. That's what it took. What did you say?
I'm gonna need a review.
You keep that, Jeff? No. Go to the gym.
I got short stuff. You can't. Ideally, you'd want this under my shelf right here.
That's just not very
Ideally, this would be under my shelf. But you just have anatomical limitations.
when I go to sleep.
This lets me back out, right? So I can't get that, you know, let's
So
do
we can
this.
hit that one.
Driving feet to the ground, Jeff.
And then from here, it's literally just pinch and go.
Well, no, not just pinch.
You get that set.
And then you put the pressure down to get your hips up. Yep. Keep driving, keep driving.
Oh, you really gotta bring them up.
And you really got, I mean, it's if you watch what it says, he's like, you see that hip come up.
It only works if you get something.
Because if you're not giving me pressure,
I'm gonna need this.
oh, I already have this.
So what I mean is, you don't want this behind to get this sweep. It's not gonna work if you go fully get this knee shield out. You're not gonna be able to get that proper pressure. Yeah, unfortunately, maybe.
It's the only way I felt that I could get them.
And most of you guys are ready.
Pretty sure.
Knee shield out. A little bit of a ball smasher.
I've got my cap.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, those are. But that's unfortunately that's the problem. You're smashing that.
Oh, yeah, it works like a charm.
Yeah.
Switching his hips.
Let me see.
I know, so I was like, just try to put your knees into my balls.
Yeah,
For
so-
the right spot.
Okay, so but that's the other thing. You definitely want the knees on this side of the ball, not behind the ball.
Right.
Right. Okay, so control the elbow. Yep. Now take the knee shield out. Take the knee shield out. Right there. Yes. Yeah, but the knee shield's got to muscle it out.
I'm not even good at
Yeah, that pressure made it way easier.
Cut this a little harder.
No,
Yeah, that pressure, no pressure.
Okay, so pull this knee out.
I appreciate you
There you go. Now you got it.
teaching me so much.
So you're a little too deep. Take the knee shield out. Don't let it collapse. Yeah. And ideally, when you take that knee
Oh,
shield
you're good
out,
at it. I think
you gotta push off.
I wanted to mimic
So like you switch over.
I didn't crowbar.
And you're sitting here and you got, so your first initial on your crowbar, that kills some of your pressure. So you just brought it so that crowbar stops on the shit, right?
Okay.
And so whether you have this grip front or back, if you just try to go for a hip switch, yeah, exactly, it's too strong. So if you find one hand and drive up, now he set drives on me, and it's just a matter of.
That one's far away.
You know that we like to want a pizza somewhere.
Pizza?
And I should like what was the mixed variation? I go here and you don't. WI something.
You have this grace that I was able to and so if I do this, and you start scrolling like this.
In the back.
Okay, and you lose all the parameters.
So I want you to cut like this, wax off, and create space.
That's what you're doing to try to prevent me from.
You have to learn that. Nobody's going to help you. It's
Straight on the
Nice, Jeremiah.
I guess I wouldn't think you would.
And that was really good. I wouldn't always rely on like having to get such a far grid because I don't. It's always gonna take effort, right? But yeah, which was fine. Which was fine, and it'll work. I try to make things as easy as possible. You know, there are times where like crap, I do need to overextend that grip to pull bigger guys over that could be but like a lot of these are set up the right way and then correctly in this case put your feet down and use the middle bar and you don't have to like do such a barrel roll. You know? It's more catching them by surprise. So. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's the best thing. Almost one of the best things for you because if they lose her down, yeah. So wrestlers, this is how you catch wrestlers. They love their
Still like the start. You hit with the crowbar.
Oh, interesting. This is like
Finish your rep, fellas.
I know it's like your favorite position.
All right. So before we get into rolling for the remainder of class, real quick, just a little jiu-jitsu theory on half guard. You're gonna find yourself in half guard. You're either gonna find yourself in half guard by accident because they're passing your guard, and then you trap them in half guard. That's kind of more common in white belt location, but pulling yourself into half guard is extremely advantageous. I think I spoke on this on the first week of half guard. There's guys who want to put themselves there on top and bottom. So one thing to take into account or into consideration if you're in guard, if you want to be in half guard, all the rules apply with foot on hip. So it kind of is this circle back around the foot on hip, the foundation of guard playing on your back. So if I get my grips and I go here and I get foot on hip, he stands up. They typically don't want to stay standing. When you're giving them the right pressure here and that posture's broken, that drive, they'll come back down to the knee, and then you've got your sweeps, right? Or they come back down to both knees, and then I can go straight into my half guard. So you could put yourself there and you're totally it's totally acceptable. A lot of guys, like Luke Slate, they want to be here. They'll pull themselves underneath dudes who weigh 200 pounds more than them. But again, one of the more common ways is you're playing with another white belt, and someone's gonna pass, and you fall into half guard. And you shouldn't think of this. This is where I want to go to the jiu-jitsu theory. You shouldn't think of this as they are halfway through passing my guard. Start thinking of this as now they're in the net, they're in the web. Now I can start attacking with sweeps, submissions, you name it, different entries. This isn't a halfway through my guard game. This isn't losing. You're not almost done. So don't let the mind think that. Treat it as if you want to be. This is where I want to be. And then we go through the motions with everything else. Back take sweeps, submissions, etc., etc. But again, from foot on hip, if you're doing foot on hip properly, and they get to that standing point, and they're going to come down. No one wants to stay in this position here. So if they fall, doesn't matter what knee they fall into, I can pull them into my half guard, or we can go from any other direction from there. So biggest thing is just don't treat, if someone's passing your guard or working on passing your guard and they fall into your half guard, don't think of that as a checkpoint, a rest stop, or I'm halfway through losing this battle. This is where I want to be. This is a safe area. I'm good. Get my grips, work from there and attack. Okay?
Safe for you, not for them.
I don't want to. I want to keep them, keep them here. Then when we roll.
So, oh, it's okay.
Yeah. So, get the water and mouthpieces.
I didn't see the other I'm just kind of concerned that our 7:30 gentleman's hour music list is being taken over. Home League, the gentleman's hour for Home League.
17. How many rounds?
You sound like a private. That's how long we're running.
Okay.
No, we're done.
You two then.
Because they always know exactly how long.
Partner up!
So one of my tanks running Green Scouts, we was doing 2 times.
On the bell! Short rest time. Short round, short rest time. Listen! Yeah, start standing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Those are cannons.
Get you into the garter.
Nice, nice, sweet. He's working through some stuff.
You're going to 3 Steve?
Yeah.
367? Yeah.
Sitting up. I'm here. Hip flexor.
Oh, yeah.
Hip flexor. That's I'm here for a couple of seconds.
I'm trying to get you to like sit down and take your back.
That's all you needed.
A little more pressure, Josh.
That was a big rep. Okay. I'll run. I'll come on.
Good one, Jeff.
Got any tips for me? Probably a horrible thing.
When he's down, move your lips closer to their lips. Lips closer to their lips. Nice partner. Jeff wasn't here for it, so.
Yeah. All right.
And it just worked on him. He tried to invert me.
Can you make your lips closer?
We almost kissed.
Makes sense.
Keep trying to get it. Do you want the
You're playing right here.
Yeah, mate.
Are you shorter than me?
Yeah, tell the truth. You're shorter than me. You shorter than me now, bro? I'm gonna be able to give some other game.
Appreciate you making me feel good. No, you're good, man.
Well, me. It's a compliment. Making me do.
Can you take it?
I'm not getting it.
That?
One more round.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I can handle this music. What do you do? Come on!
It's our song.
This is gay chicken for keeps.
It's a gentleman's hour song.
That's a Marine. I know how these fuckers think. Never saw a Marine that lost gay chicken. Who's got sweet? Alright, don't you the way we know? Concept, that's it.
Grab the leg, it was humiliating. It's like turn around,
I got some other stuff at the end. Eat some beef. I'm not gonna get submitted. I'm not gonna make you uncomfortable for a couple seconds. Hell yeah.
Time!
Good roll, man. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the donuts all the time. Oh, yeah.
I'd rather.
No, it's all right.
Big, fat, strong, unwieldy dude than an athletic man.
Let's line it up, let's line it up.
What Friday? I think I'm in the master plus.
Right. Well, try to get them out of the board, they'll get a smaller.
In the medieval era, if someone challenged you to like a duel or a joust, and you turn them down, you concede, right?
Hey,
You say, you know what?
you gotta kill him.
You say, you know what? I don't want to fight you. You're too big. You're too strong. You're too fast. You're too smart. Take my crown. Is that what happens?
No, it's actually the king had his mercenaries.
Was that projection? Was that projection?
His mercenaries.
Hey, you ever see Gladiator? Like, you should see some
Yeah, you
videos.
watch him.
Hey, excellent Monday. That's my favorite way to start the week. And I always appreciate you guys doing that with me. Everyone's looking great, working hard. I love it. Let's ride that momentum through the whole week. Vets class, Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning. Let's do it. Thank you.
I would have said it married if he did What's up with the monkeys?
Is that good?
We were all wrong on the over-under.
There you go. Choke his ass.
I bet he was like right outside the window when we said it. That's good. We should come in.
Alright, 7:30, coming up.
Alright, we will line out.
When are you leaving? When are you off?
Alright, so starting over with our system. More or less the same thing I teach in later class. So we'll be doing all the things a bit deeper, longer, all that good stuff. So it's like that. So we did it. Alright, so first things first, I got Scott here. Inside my guard, warm up with our quick progressive. First thing I always like making sure that we know is if somebody's driving into you, not necessarily playing a sport or a technical jiu-jitsu, he's just trying to whatever. Use your legs. Every time it seems like a girl decides they want to grapple outside of the gym, they'll wrestle a dude or something, and even they'll just be like this. I don't know what to do. It's like use your legs and push them away. So again, that's the most important thing is pinch your knees, run, and get back to the spot where you can control the man. So he's in here driving in me, trying to push my forearm into my neck. I'm trying to pull him in like pinch, hip out, and then run. It's really important that I don't just try to do a hip switch when I don't have, when his body's between my knees and my hips. Me hipping out doesn't do any pinch. Once my knees are involved, then I can hip in and come out. So that's the first thing I always want you guys to work on and understand is pinch your knees, shimmy them, start a fire, and get the hell out of there, get to feel on him. So 2 times each. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Some of that,
I'm working tomorrow, it's just right here, we were gonna cover for it.
Magic.
Yeah, it's nice.